Okay, so today I'll be showing you how to configure a Spark Max. Okay, so you do need a USB-C orange cable that comes with all of these Sparks. So there are two things you can do. You can either download the software or the hardware, and I will show you how to download the hardware and do it. So I'm just gonna go download the for Sparks, and it should be right here. So you just want to click this, and then it'll start the download. Okay, so after you have downloaded your hardware client, you want to just open it up, click install. Okay, so we're now finished. Okay, so this is the client page, but if you want to run it, you can just also search up right here, Rev Hardware Client, and it'll come up right here. Okay, so I just plugged in my USB-C cable to my Spark, and I'm going to then plug it into my laptop. Alright, it's plugged into my laptop, and now we can go on to the Rev Hardware Client. Okay, so you have the hardware client right here. You're just gonna, after you plug in your Spark, you want to reload the page, and this will come up. If it doesn't come up at first, it's fine. It lags sometimes. You just want to unplug the Spark and plug it back in, or you want to reload the software, the hardware. So you click on this. Okay, so right now I want to make it CAN ID 1. So CAN ID is basically the number that is used to recognize which Spark you're talking about, right? So I want Spark 1 to be a part of the drivetrain, and I want Spark 2 to be part of the elevator. That's how you recognize the different Sparks, and you recognize which motor it belongs to. And then you go on to the motor. So there's Neo and there's brushed. So let's say I want a brushed motor, okay? And then there's a sensor type. There are no sensors for brushed. Brushed are like sim motors. So idle mode is just if I want to spin it one way and I don't want it to spin the other way, so it's kind of like a brake mode. The rest of these we can mostly keep as is. Okay, now you can clear the state faults if you want. And then after you're done with your configuration, the main thing you want to do is burn flash. Click yes. So a lot of the time people miss this out because they think load or configuration equals burn flash. So now you have your Spark that is with CAN ID 1, brush, no sensor, so on, so on. So let's say I want to use this exact input for another Spark, my CAN ID Spark 2. So what you can do is save the configuration. Let's say we save it as 5 or 4. Okay, so we're going to save it as 4. And then later when I plug in another Spark and I want to have this exact configuration, I'll just do load configuration and then click on 4 and load. And this would come up. And then again, you would burn flash. Okay, so now let us unplug it and then plug the Spark back in just to test if it really worked. That's a great way to test it out. You're gonna plug it back in, reload, and then right here. Great. So now we have CAN ID 1, brush, no sensor. Now the next thing you want to do is go on to the next pages. So every year there will be a different update. So our current version of this Spark was 1.5.2, but we want to update it to 1.6.3. What you do is go to update latest version, which would most likely automatically happen if you're online, and then you just click update. And if your Spark isn't updated, then it will not work properly in your code. So it'll show an error saying your Spark firmware is not updated. You want to update that, and this is how you do it right here in the Spark hardware client. Okay, so now we have it updated, so we can reload that after it'll automatically go away. Okay, and then we have utilities, downloads, and about. So the Rev hardware client also has a most recent version, so you want to always check for updates and update your Rev hardware client to the recent version. So now let's check. We're going to plug it out and plug it back in. Then we have USB, CAN ID 1. Okay, so everything looks good. CAN ID 1, brush, no sensor. It's updated to the latest version. And that is all you have to do to configure your Spark.